Good afternoon, everybody. How y'all doing? Pretty high here, and welcome to the channel. I want to get on here today and talk about the things I like, the 5 things I like, maybe 6, love really, about my new Toyota Tacoma back here. First of all, for those of you that don't know, this is a 2018 Toyota Tacoma TRD Sport. It is the blacked out trim edition, so you can see it has the blacked out badging, and that's really about it actually. But the first thing that I want to mention is the looks of it. It goes right along with the blacked out package. Part of the reason that I got this truck is because it caught my eye when I was on the lot looking. You know, I love this Barcelona red. It's just an awesome color on this truck, and it really pops in the sunshine. And, as I mentioned, the blacked out features, some that it has on it, the lettering and the inserts in the tailgate. I think it looks really cool. And the absence of chrome. You know, other than a little bit of silver or chrome look in the front, as far as the headlights go, it really has none. Now, on the interior, it has a little bit, but I'm working to improve that as well. One thing that I will mention while I'm on the topic of silver or chrome, the new wheels that I put on, they're fuel ANSA wheels. And their badging, which you guys might be able to see over there, does have a little bit of silver in it. And I'm thinking of blacking that out somehow. I don't know if I'll just paint it, because I can take those center caps off and do what I want with them. Or plasti dip it or something like that, but it's such a small area, I'd probably take it all off and just spray it, I would imagine. Because I do want to keep the design they have, the big F, which is the biggest silver part you can see there, and fuel spelled out. So, got to do something about that. And while I'm talking about the look, you know, I like this truck, whether it was lifted or not. So, before I even got it, I really love the look of the Tacoma. I've mentioned many times on the channel that I think the Tacoma is the best looking truck on the road. I still feel that way. And while I do think that it looks even better with the lift that I have now and the addition of the new wheels and tires, I did like it the way it was before. So, the second thing is the technology that's in this truck. You know, it has the nice big screen in it with all the apps and all that kind of stuff. Everything works seamlessly. You know, the Tundra that I had before, I always had issues with the phone. I've mentioned that in other videos, so I'm not going to go on about that. But I did have some sync issues with the phone, or phone clarity, let's call it. Issues on 4 callers on the other end. People would tell me they couldn't hear me or whatever. I don't have those problems with the Tacoma. Everything works seamlessly, and to date, 0 issues. No little hiccups or anything like that, like I had on the Rebel way back. So the technology in the truck is awesome. One thing that I'll mention about that, I'll put this under technology, is that when you hit the key fob, when you're walking away, or touch the door handle, because that'll lock everything up, it truly does lock everything up. It locks all the doors, and it locks the tailgate. On the Tundra, I had to use a key. I mean, come on, it was a CrewMax Limited 2018. I still had to use a key. I don't have to do that anymore. I really like that. It just adds a little bit of security. You know, for some reason, well, money reasons, people like to steal the tailgates off the trucks. I don't have to worry about that anymore. Whenever I go somewhere, lock the truck, which I always do, the tailgate's locked, no big deal. Peace of mind, I like that. The size of it. You know, for my application here, you guys can see the garage, I didn't have a lot of room for a big giant truck, or the Tundra. So that's really what initiated this to begin with. The Tacoma fits in here easily. You guys can see it sitting on the lift. Even though I, in essence, increased the wheelbase size on it because I put wider tires, and raised it higher, it fits in the garage perfectly. It doesn't hang off the edges of the lift. The Tundra did that even without putting different wheels or tires on it. So there's no way I could have done it with the Tundra. It simply wouldn't have fit. And the height of the Tundra was probably somewhere comparable to where I'm at right now. And some of you might say, well, gee, then you really didn't gain anything as far as the lift goes. I would argue that when you lift a smaller truck, a mid-sized truck, it enhances the appearance of it overall. So while it may not be higher than what the Tacoma was, or at least not much, it certainly does feel and look that way because of the size of the truck. So I did get what I was looking for, and that was a lift with impact. I love the way it looks right now. The size is perfect. The other thing that I'll mention about when it comes to size is driving around town or even around in my garage or whatever. It's easy to maneuver because it's not so big that you have to be overly concerned about everything. I mean, you can see it fits in here well, it fits in parking places, it fits in tight areas. It's just a little bit easier to drive from that perspective. You don't have to worry so much about your footprint, how much of the road you're taking up. It fits in the lanes nicely, no big issue there. So I like that. Just makes it a little bit more enjoyable to drive. Modability, number 4. Another one of the big drivers or big reasons for me going with this truck was because I wanted to be able to mod it however I wanted to do it. And part of that for me was the lift and the bigger tires. I couldn't do that with the Tundra. I'm able to do everything I want to do with this truck, make it the way that I want it. It's just a little bit smaller footprint, and I really like that. I think by the time I'm done with it, the truck is certainly going to be my own. It's already, in my opinion, undergone a huge change because of the wheels and tire change, as well as the lift itself. So I think that's pretty cool. The 5th thing, and this is maybe a little bit crazy, I don't know. You guys might see Krista pull in here in the background. She's back, and I have her part of the garage lifted up in the air. Is reach. You know, the Tundra was cavernous inside. I mean, it was huge. You could stretch out, you know, unless you have 8-foot-long arms, and still not touch anything. Now, part of the problem with that is you could stretch out and not touch anything. So if you wanted to get in the glove box or whatever, excuse me, it was a lot more difficult to do. You know, if something falls somewhere, you can't reach it. If you need to reach in the back for something, good luck, you couldn't get to it. I don't have that issue in the Tacoma, and for me, it's not a problem not having all that extra space. Some people, and I would agree, have issue with the amount of space that there is here in the back. Passengers don't have a lot of room, it's not comfortable, blah, blah, blah. And I can't disagree with that. There's not a ton of room in the back, but if you have little children, and I mean little children, or you don't carry passengers, that's really irrelevant. It has the capability to carry passengers if you want to, but if you're not doing it on a regular basis, why do you need all that extra space? Why do you have to haul around all that extra room, you know? So that's not a problem for me. I like the size that it is because it enables me to reach everything I want, whenever I want. The last thing that I'll mention, this is bonus number 6, is storage. You know, I did a video a while back about how superior the Tacoma was, unfortunately, to the Tundra when it comes to storage. This truck has storage under the seats, storage behind the seats, storage everywhere, storage in the bed. Unfortunately, the Tundra that I had none of that. It didn't even have storage under the seats. You couldn't pull the seats forward, so you couldn't put anything behind there either. And they managed to squeeze a jack underneath the passenger rear side, so that even took up room. I love what the Tacoma has. It has plenty of storage for everything. You know, when I was up north, which of course I'm not now, you know, I would carry around gloves and a hat, maybe a scarf, whatever, in case I got stranded somewhere in the winter. I would carry, and still do, bungee cords and that kind of thing in case I want to tie something down. Plenty of room to do that kind of stuff now. Krista's back from the beach. So I really love the way that the Tacoma is set up as far as storage goes. It's perfect. Plenty for what I need. Anyway, I just wanted to get on here and talk a little bit about why I really love the Tacoma, give you 5 reasons plus 1. Let me know what you think. Leave a comment down below. I know there are people out there who still prefer big giant trucks, and that's okay. I didn't hate the Tundra. If I had the room, or someday, I might have another one. Anyway, appreciate you guys watching. Please give this video a big thumbs up. Click that subscribe button if you haven't before, and we'll see you next time on the web. Have a good day. Bye.